Iodine is essential for growth, reproduction, proper metabolism, neuronal health, and many other functions of the human body. Let's find out why iodine is so necessary, what the symptoms of its deficiency are, and what foods can meet your daily need for this mineral. Iodine is one of the most important microelements for human body. The lack of it is associated with various diseases. It's always present in the human body in small amounts and plays a very important role in the production of thyroid hormones. Iodine is present in salivary glands, mammary glands, and cervix, so it's evident that the element is also essential for gestation and development of the fetus. Iodine can be absorbed in the intestine in two different ways. Molecular iodine is absorbed during facilitated diffusion process. The second form, iodide, is absorbed due to the presence of a transport protein in the gastric mucosa, which provides the joint transport of iodine and sodium. It's believed that after absorption, about 30% of the iodine is used by the thyroid gland and the rest goes to other tissues. It's recommended to consume 150 micrograms of iodine daily for adults and 200 micrograms for pregnant and breastfeeding women. Unfortunately, iodine intake levels are rarely met, and this affects human health. Hundreds of millions of people around the world suffer from goiter. This important issue is caused by a low iodine diet. Today we will tell you about high iodine foods, but even that may not be enough for daily norm. When many Americans hear the word iodine, they may think of salt, and that's no surprise, since up to 3/4 of US households use iodized salt to help boost the flavor of their food, according to previous research. Indeed, most salt manufacturers have been participating in the voluntary program of adding iodine to table salt since the 1920s to help correct iodine deficiencies, according to the National Institutes of Health. Before we tell you about all the beneficial properties of iodine, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to watch the new interesting videos on Big Progress every day. Why does the human body need iodine? Properties and functions. One of the main functions of iodine is related to the work of the thyroid gland, which affects many aspects of our health. First of all, if the thyroid gland is healthy, then it's much easier to control weight. This gland is also important for regulating blood pressure and heart rate, for elimination of toxins, and for the proper metabolism of other minerals, for example calcium. Let's take a closer look at the functions of iodine in the human body. The thyroid gland is a vital hormone gland. It plays a major role in the metabolism, growth, and development of the human body. It helps regulate many functions of the body by constantly releasing a steady amount of thyroid hormones into the bloodstream. If the body needs more energy in certain situations, for instance if it's growing or cold or during pregnancy, the thyroid gland produces more hormones. Iodine deficiency can lead to enlargement of the thyroid gland or goiter, hypothyroidism, and to intellectual disabilities in infants and children whose mothers were iodine deficient during pregnancy. The other roles of thyroid hormones are growth. Thyroid hormones are needed for the growth of the fetus and baby in the first 3 years of life. Metabolism. The proper functioning of the thyroid gland increases the basal metabolic rate. Cardiovascular system. Thyroid malfunction is associated with bradycardia or tachycardia. Fertility. Problems with thyroid hormone production are associated with increased risk of miscarriage, postpartum hemorrhage, gestational hypertension, and other complications. Anemia prevention. Thyroid hormones stimulate the production of red blood cells. Another important property of iodine is to act as an antioxidant due to its ability to donate an electron. Iodine deficiency causes and symptoms. Here are 11 signs that suggest a person may have an iodine deficiency. Putting on weight. One of the most noticeable signs of an iodine deficiency is unexpected weight gain. When a person has a healthy metabolism, they burn calories to give them their energy. Hypothyroidism, or a lack of thyroid hormones, slows down a person's metabolism. When a person's metabolism slows down, calories are more likely to be stored as fat, leading to weight gain. Feeling weak. When a person has an iodine deficiency, they may feel weak. Hypothyroidism slows down a person's metabolic rate. This means they burn fewer calories for energy. Less energy means that muscles do not work as efficiently. This makes a person feel weak. Drying skin. Having dry, flaky skin could be a sign of hypothyroidism, as it can be the result of iodine deficiency. Thyroid hormones help cells renew. A lack of these hormones may cause dead skin cells to build up, sometimes resulting in dry, flaky skin. Feeling cold. Iodine deficiency causes a lack of thyroid hormones, so the person's metabolic rate slows down and the body produces less energy. Energy in turn gives the body warmth. A lack of it means a person is more likely to feel cold. Functions of the thyroid gland. The thyroid weighs between 20 and 60 grams on average. It's surrounded by two fibrous capsules. The outer capsule is connected to the voice box muscles and many important vessels and nerves. There is loose connective tissue between the inner and the outer capsule, so the thyroid can move and change its position when we swallow. The thyroid tissue itself consists of a lot of small individual lobules enclosed in thin layers of connective tissue. These lobules contain a great number of small vessels, sacs, called follicles, which store thyroid hormones in the form of little droplets. The thyroid gland produces three hormones: triiodothyronin, also known as T3, tetraiodothyronin, also called thyroxine or T4, and calcitonin. Strictly speaking, only T3 and T4 are proper thyroid hormones. They're made in what are known as the follicular epithelial cells of the thyroid. The third hormone produced by the thyroid gland is called calcitonin. Calcitonin is made by C cells. It's involved in calcium and bone metabolism. T3 and T4 increase the basal metabolic rate. They make all cells in the body work harder, so the cells need more energy too. This might have the following effects. Body temperature rises, the pulse quickens, and the heartbeat gets stronger. The food is used up more quickly because the energy stored in the liver and muscles is broken down. The brain matures in children. Growth is promoted in children. The activation of the nervous system leads to improved concentration and faster reflexes. An overactive thyroid, also known as hyperthyroidism, occurs if the thyroid gland makes too much of the hormones. An underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism, is when the gland doesn't make enough hormones. Both of these imbalances can lead to a great number of symptoms. But what happens when the body gets enough iodine daily? Body weight will change. Thyroid hormones affect your basal metabolic rate as well as fat and carbohydrate metabolism, so getting enough of this element will help you maintain your body weight. In hyperthyroidism, weight loss occurs rapidly due to accelerated metabolism, while in hypothyroidism, weight increases rapidly due to decreased metabolic activity and strong water retention. Consuming daily norm of iodine will solve these problems. Heat and cold intolerance will disappear. The thyroid gland helps the body regulate its temperature by adapting to the temperature of the environment. This is called thermoregulation. If you feel very hot or very cold, even if there's no real reason for this, it may be a sign of a change in thyroid hormones. For example, in hyperthyroidism, you become highly sensitive to heat, and hypothyroidism makes you constantly feel cold. You'll forget about fatigue and asthenia. Consuming enough iodine daily and resting at night, that's the recipe of constant vigor and high energy. Sudden mood changes will stop. Mood changes can have a variety of causes, and thyroid disease is one of them. Irritability, insomnia, anxiety, nervousness, hyperactivity, and increased emotionality occur in hyperthyroidism due to the general acceleration of metabolism. In hypothyroidism, slowdown in metabolism and cellular activity causes drowsiness, memory impairment, inability to focus, decreased mental performance, and depression. If you consume enough iodine, these symptoms will gradually leave you. It will remove intestinal disorders. The thyroid gland regulates intestinal motility and stabilizes the work of the digestive system. Hyperthyroidism causes frequent episodes of diarrhea, which occur due to increased stimulation of the gastrointestinal tract muscles. Hormonal deficiency typical for hypothyroidism may even cause persistent constipation. The heart will start working properly. Heartbeat abnormalities may indicate a thyroid disorder. The common symptoms of hyperthyroidism are tachycardia, palpitations, and high blood pressure, while hypothyroidism is characterized by bradycardia, lower strength of myocardial contraction, and hypotension. Consumption of the daily iodine norm will eliminate these symptoms. Cholesterol levels will normalize. High blood cholesterol levels can be a sign of hypothyroidism, as the slowdown in metabolism causes the increase in blood cholesterol. The condition of the skin, nails, and hair will improve. Hair, nails, and skin suffer greatly from thyroid hormone imbalances and react differently to increases or decreases. People with hyperthyroidism begin to lose hair and their skin looks thinner. In hypothyroidism, the epidermis becomes rough, the nails turn brittle, and the hair grows dull and may even begin to fall out. Taking enough iodine will return the thyroid gland to normal functioning, and all these unpleasant manifestations will stop. Iodine will normalize menstrual cycle and improve fertility. The condition of the reproductive organs is directly linked to the work of the thyroid gland. That's why the excess or lack of thyroid hormones circulating in the blood is associated with changes in menstrual cycle and decreased fertility. In hyperthyroidism, menstruation is short, scanty, sporadic, and with no ovulation, while in hypothyroidism, on the contrary, bleeding is profuse, prolonged, and the cycle becomes shorter. Pain and discomfort in the neck will be forgotten. The thyroid gland is situated at the base of the neck, below the Adam's apple in men. If you sense a lump in your throat, feel a kind of irritation swallowing, notice a slight swelling or lowering of your voice, then you need to check the condition of your thyroid gland. See your doctor immediately. They will prescribe treatment if necessary, and all unpleasant symptoms will stop with the normalization of iodine intake. Food sources of iodine. Iodine is a component of almost every living plant and animal. No standard measurements of iodine in food exist because iodine concentrations vary across the world. In general, foods from the sea contain the most iodine, followed by animal foods and then plant foods. Iodine is not only found naturally in some foods, but is also added to salt that is labeled as iodized. You can get recommended amounts of iodine by eating a variety of foods, including the following: fish, such as cod and tuna, seaweed, shrimp, and other seafood, which are generally rich in iodine, dairy products, such as milk, yogurt, and cheese, which are major sources of iodine in American diets, iodized salt, which is readily available in the United States and many other countries. Causes and symptoms of iodine toxicity. Although the consequences of iodine deficiency have been recognized for years, there has not been much emphasis on the prevalence or the consequences of iodine excess. Acute iodine toxicity is rare and is often difficult to recognize. Clinical manifestations may range from nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea to delirium, stupor, and shock. Very large amounts of iodine may cause a brassy taste in the mouth, increased salivation, gastrointestinal irritation, as well as acne and skin lesions. That's all we wanted to tell you about the effects of iodine on the human body. If you've learned anything new, like